welcome to For Flow with Chloe. I'm doing an impromptu read on the full moon in Scorpio, which is on the 24th of April, and we are currently just gone into Taurus season, and the full moon will be in Scorpio. And I did a 3-card reading on Saturday evening, and I came home just now and I found that the death card was still on the floor underneath the sofa from that reading. And I did actually come away from that 3-card thinking, wow, that's got so much of the full moon energy about it. And I just noticed on the floor, and I was like, I need to do a reading, and this is the overall energy card for that reading, because the death card symbolizes Scorpio and transformation and endings and new beginnings, and that whole process and journey, and a lot about our shadow selves, our intuition. Scorpios are very intuitive. They're very good at working through things using their intuition, and they have a lot of sort of transformative energy about them. And so let's flip the camera and get going before I blather on any longer. So Taurus is actually opposite Scorpio on the astrological wheel as well, which obviously the sun is in Taurus at the moment, and this full moon will be in Scorpio. So I think there'll be something about that axis to come up, and something about the shadow of Scorpio that needs something in our emotion, intuition, our shadow self, our spiritual self, that needs releasing so that we can walk into that more Taurian energy and maybe transform something. That's what I'm feeling. So, so I'm going to use the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. So we've got quite a scorpionic card there. So let's pull some more sort of earthy Taurian cards, because we have got that axis of Scorpio and Taurus going on. Our Scorpio energy, like I said at the beginning, is very much that sort of transformation, intuition, deep emotions, and things to do with sort of endings and beginnings and cycles, whereas Taurus is very earthy, it's very feminine. It's the sign that kicks off spring. It's very much about sort of beginnings, and it's about groundedness, having structure and substance, and reality, and quite like feminine but abundant, very like springtime energy really. But I feel like there's something that needs to be released, let go of, and transformed for us to be able to move into like a Taurian energy, where it's like we can become grounded and abundant. We can become stable and have something that is structured and stable, that makes us feel, safe in who we are, is what I'm feeling. So what are our cards? Weaver of Boons, 8 of Challenges, the World in Reverse, and Child of Visions. Okay, so we've got Weaver of Boons, which is our Queen of Pentacles. That's that very sort of Taurian energy that I was talking about. feminine card. She's growing things in the pot. I don't know if you can see, but she's growing some kind of plant in there, and it's all sparkly. It's got big, strong roots on it, and the magic is happening for her. She's grounding in with her bare feet through the earth as well to make that magic happen. And this card is incredibly abundant and fertile in its symbology. And the Queen of Pentacles, which this would be in classic tarot, is very patient and knows her worth and doesn't go sort of chasing or grasping for things, but just sits and knows that it is coming to her because she's put in the hard work, and she knows she doesn't have to go chasing after things. What we've got next is what would be our 8 of Swords, which is 8 of Challenges. So this can be about taking sort of shortcuts. Sorry, that's not this card. Taking shortcuts is this world in reverse. I'm getting distracted by that one because I feel this one directly is leading to that one. So this is about sort of our shadow side. It can be, the victim card and feeling hopeless and lost in past experiences, and feeling tied. See, she's tied into all of these vines and she's got hands over her eyes, like she's almost blinding herself, and not wanting to look. So feeling sort of blinded and trapped, but refusing to look at how to solve these problems and break free. And I think that's, bouncing off of that death card of, like I said, I think there's a shadow that's quite scorpionic. We need to transform something. We need to release something. This full moon is very much about releasing past cycles and where we have held ourselves back, people, things, places, jobs, anyone and anything that has made us feel like this. It's time to break free of it. And this World card in reverse is often, when it's in reverse, about we need to break free and we need to close out the cycle, but maybe we're taking shortcuts because we don't want to look at the hard stuff. But the Queen of Pentacles, the Weaver of Boons, she knows that we need to have the patience and ground in, and without a solid foundation and without patience, have we got a solid foundation to move forward, to step forward into our abundance? So we need to have patience with ourselves and not take shortcuts to overcome these things in our shadow. We need to be patient with ourselves and let it come to us and give ourselves the time and respect to actually release this stuff the way it should be. So no shortcuts. If we don't stay focused, we aren't going to achieve our dreams. So we need to stay grounded. We need to stay focused on ourselves and what it is that we need to overcome, and we need to not give up and not back out and not back down and take the quick win, take the easy win. This is big stuff that's coming up, and we owe it to ourselves to process it properly so we can have our reward, our abundance. And we have the Child of Visions, yeah. So this is about being open to new possibilities. It's youth, it's innocence, it's joyful, it's looking at the world afresh, and being open to new opportunities, greeting it with the enthusiasm and newness of a child. So this would normally be our sort of Page of Cups, this Child of Visions. I quite like the name in this deck because I think it really really does symbolize the sort of magic and innocence of the meaning of the card. And so if we want to, we need to process this stuff so that we can renew and transform and look at things with fresh eyes. I'm going to pull a few more cards. Oh, on the floor. What's on the floor? Six of Visions. Eight of Boons. Oh my goodness, the whole deck's fell on the floor. Six of Spells. I just want to show you this. I have caught a card in my knees as it tried to fall. Sort the camera out now. There's one that's upturned on the floor as well. So let's see what that one is. The White Heart. So that's our full card. And then I'm going to take a stack. Oh God. There's a few that are... So that one and that one were also sort of scattered. One was upturned and the other was face down away from the rest of it. So we've got the Sun, which is sunlight, and the Ten of Boons. Wow. So yes, we're getting some nice cards come out if we can open up to this energy, if we can process this stuff, not take shortcuts, and really, really allow this shadow side of ourselves to process, we can start to transform. We can awaken with a newness. And then our Six of Cups is this sort of nostalgic energy. And again, this quite childlike wonder, like maybe going back to what used to make me happy. Like, who am I? Who am I really? What truly makes me happy? And maybe looking back at, you know, things that you did as a child and the way you saw the world as a child, to sort of fall back in love with, this is really cheesy, but I'm getting to fall back in love with yourself and who you really are, your true self. And maybe fall back in love with a dream you had at one point. Then we've got the Eight of Boons. So starting to really build and weave some growth together again of abundance. See all these spools she's got, and she's weaving this beautiful little light of passion there. This little torch, this little flame is like lit up. Lovely. And then we get the Six of Spells, which is our Six of Wands, which is victory. And I love that. I absolutely love the little dragon on here. Look at him shining his heart out, shining his fiery magic, shining his creativity out. And everyone is just absolutely overjoyed by this delightful little dragon. But yeah, it's success, it's victory. And I feel like this is us weaving our way towards this, this sort of soul fire, this victory in the soul, this passion, like we've created it and, you know, we're succeeding. And this starts a new journey with the White Heart here, the full card. It resets us. We start the journey again. And, you know, we get the Sun. And this is a yes. This is a massive yes. This is, again, that joy. And what I was saying here about this kind of the ick that gave me the ick because it was cheesy. But this going back to sort of falling back in love with our true selves and the things we believed and felt as a child. This is massively the Sun card as well. It's, you know, about our inspiration, our success, our fulfillment, positivity, and manifesting our dreams. And dare I say it, this sort of inner child sort of dream. And then we get the Ten of Boons, which is grounding it in to reality. What I was saying about this, you know, we need to, you know, get some security And the 10 of Boons is our 10 of Pentacles. So it's like the generational wealth card. Like the whole family is taken care of for years to come. Like that's how stable it is. So this is all really positive. So I am going to just clarify with the, I'm going to use the Enchanted for Haxa because this card, the overall energy card, was from this deck. I'm just going to take one card, if it gives me one. Sometimes it gives me more, it gives me how many it wants to, on this world card here. Tell me more about the world in reverse. The 3 of Air. So that is the 3 of Swords. So in the Lightseers deck, this is like a heart with, and in traditional tarot, in traditional tarot it's like a heart with 3 swords plunged into it. In the Lightseers deck, this card, I'm getting a picture of that one where the heart is like all torn to pieces and sewed back together, and there's someone like sort of in pain, and so I'm getting heartbreak. It doesn't have to be romantic heartbreak, it can be like just how we have broken our heart in the past, which I think is linking to here and here, about how maybe something in childhood, like our child, maybe we're broken hearted about our childhood dream of where we thought we would end up, and maybe something has happened to us along the way, some sort of self-limiting beliefs that have happened to us in our early years or our teens or early on that have stopped us, blocked us, and kept us in this mindset of actually you can't have that, but we can. And I think if we can heal that, because this world card being in reverse, I think is suggesting that we don't want to look at it, that we don't want to look at this, and we just want to like skip to the good part. But you know, we can't. We need to resolve. I'm noticing as well, we've got all these tangled vines and things on here, and the shadows coming up, and this woman who is bleeding on the floor is reaching for this higher power, for this higher self, where they're in the light, where it's more luminous. So yeah, again, need to not take shortcuts and let whatever wants to come up and truly process that. But I'm feeling like it's something to do with heartbreak and how we have left ourselves heartbroken. For one or two of you, that might be something romantic. I'm feeling like it's something to do with childhood though, I really am. One more, please. Five of Water. Yeah, disappointment. So this would be our 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is often about disappointment. About, you know, she's... maybe she was hoping for this sort of... You know, that one over there is holding the cup, and this one is left crying a whole lake. The little crabs are like coming up and like, it's okay. And she's like, it's not okay. I am distraught. So yeah, looking at where we have accepted less than we're worth, and left ourselves disappointed and brokenhearted. Well, it's time for that to end, guys. Let's see about having a archetypes card, because these go really deep and dark into the shadows. Let's see if we can fumble around in the dark and find more about this shadow. Maybe it can give us some tools or guidance. How can we move past this shadow? Give me a card for the shadow. This one. The seed. So this is about new beginnings. This one's sliding off as well. It wants me to show this one also. The Father. Wow. Wow. So yeah, we could be looking at our literal roots, where we began, our home life, our father. But we could also be looking at, because I'm like with the seed, I'm just like, that's, you know, the original origin, and it's with the father. And, you know, where we originate from is from our mother and father. So that's why I'm getting that. And, you know, not all starts are good starts. I'm getting absence as well. The father can be emotionally absent or more absent stereotypically when we look back through society and masculine roles. You know, modern times are different. But typically the male was the one away from the home setting. So there's that absence physically and often emotionally. The father is the one we look to for knowledge, and yeah, more of the power, like the authority. But it's more the mother we often go to for the nurture. So it might also be that actually we are not necessarily looking at our literal father, but the mother and father energies within ourselves. Are we emotionally detaching from ourselves in order to blot out these shadows in ourselves, these disappointments and heartbreaks? Are we emotionally detaching from ourselves with regard to them in order to not process them, is what I'm getting. And what point do we need to go back to? Where was this seed planted that we don't want to process, that we're detaching from? That's what I'm getting. But I'm also getting that, you know, to have a new beginning and move past this, we need to know that not all beginnings are beautiful. You know, birth is really painful. It's quite gory. It's blood and guts and gore. Like, new beginnings are not beautiful. Like, birth actually begins kind of with the trauma of the separation from, you know, your mother's body. It's painful for her, and it's, you know, traumatic for both of you. But it's a new beginning. It's a zero. It's a fresh slate. But, you know, none of us get here. You know, none of us get here through rainbows, sparkles, and unicorns. We're not, you know, delivered on the back of a dove with like rainbows and glitter, are we? Like, we get here in a difficult way. And it's not going to be easy getting our new beginning. And we're going to have some difficult processes that we're going to have to work through and step up to. You know, the father is the one who has to step up. That's what I'm getting as well. I am now going to do an everyday witch card and see what advice the witches have for us. What is your advice on how to process this shadow? This one. Transformation and change. And that's what I was saying right from the beginning. We need to be open. We need to be open to this, this transformation, and just let it happen, is what I'm getting. I'm just going to check in the book to see if it has any little spells and things, because it sometimes does. We've got the butterfly of transformation there on the card as well. I'm just going to show you that up close. Little kitties as well, and one's got a little butterfly in its tail. And obviously butterflies, you know, they go into a chrysalis or a cocoon or whatever it is, and they completely break down into like pulp and are reborn. That's an ugly process also. Caterpillars, they're like ugly little creatures. I mean, some of them look like pretty like funky, but generally they are not considered as beautiful as a butterfly. And they go through this really like weird process where they weave this cocoon and they melt, literally melt down and get, you know, reborn and come out as something beautiful. And so we need to embrace the process, the ugly process, in order to get, you know, our beautiful transformation at the end. So it says action. The first line, transformation and change. There is no growth without change. So yeah, be open to the changes. And that's what I was saying here. We need to come at it with an open heart, childlike wonder, and embrace like our little childhood selves and our dreams. Take some time to think about where you are in life right now and where you want to end up. Transformations need to happen along the way for you to reach your goals, and what are you doing to encourage and support those transformations? What do you need to do differently? So I'm now going to read the magic. To smooth the progress of transition, sometimes it is necessary to let go of old patterns or situations, we've already talked about that in the reading, that are no longer work for you. So yeah, what are you holding on to that just frankly isn't working out for you? Like, don't keep repeating the same patterns, because, you know, tackling the problem with the same tools and the same solution is going to get the same outcome. So we need to change it up. We need to rethink how we're working through things and get a fresh outlook. Just like a butterfly crawling out of a chrysalis, there are parts of where you came from that have to be discarded and left behind in order to move on to new ways of being. If you want to do magical work to help these processes, go outside, especially if there's a breeze on the wind, or sit inside in front of an open window, fan, or anything that will blow air on you. If you can't do either of these things, then move around, dancing or jumping, to cause the air to move around you. Light a sage smudge stick and let the air waft past you. Visualize what it is that you need to let go of, being blown away in the air with the air and the smoke. So I quite like that. Maybe like dance it out. I quite like to dance it out. You know, put on your favourite tunes and just go spinning around. Yeah. So that is the advice, guys, on how to work through your shadows in order to get to this fabulous Sun and Ten of Pentacles energy. Yeah, we need to be open to it. We need to allow whatever needs to come up, what's lurking in the shadow. We need to address it. We need to address it, look at where we want to go, what we've been ignoring, what we need to let go of. Then we need to embrace the change and come at it with a fresh pair of eyes, a fresh heart, and renewed energy. And then we can have it. We can have it. Okay, so I hope you liked that reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you do enjoy the reading. And yeah, thank you for stopping by. And have a wonderful full moon. Bye. Right, I've just come back on because as I'm tidying up, so I'm putting all of the cards away, I found under the sofa, again, what is it with it? What is with cards hiding under the sofa from me today? I'm just going to check there's not any more under there. No, there's not. So I'm just boxing up the FJ Witch. So what is hiding under the sofa but moonlight? This is the moon card. What am I pulling on? A full moon. And what am I talking about? Like shadows, and you know, what are we hiding from? And what is it doing but hiding under the sofa? And you know, the moon is very much about shining light. When it's a full moon, it's like about shining light on what is subconsciously being hidden. So I needed to show you that card came up also. Yeah, yeah, we need to find some balance, and really process and really look at what this moon wants to shine a light on for us. Namaste. Once again, happy full moon.